Namaskar. I'm indeed grateful that the Coal Ministry, Minister Prahlad Joshi ji, who's given me an opportunity to be here with you all when he's carrying forward the Prime Minister's efforts to open up the coal sector, in fact open up the mining sector, remove all those glitches which had literally bogged the sector down over the decades. So as I am here to join this continuation of this reform exercise, first of which was launched by Honorable Prime Minister, and we see that within a matter of 2 years, less than 2 years, the ministry has really put in all the effort and intense work that is so required for these sort of very layered exercise. I won't say complicated, but layered exercise, in which clarity in the department, determination in the minds of the officers, and a certain level of dedication and commitment of the ministers, both Sri Rao Sahib Patil Danveji and the minister here, Sri Prahlad Joshi ji, have put in a lot of effort to make sure that the objective of unlocking the mining sector is really achieved. And in the last 2 years, they've kept the momentum up, that today, where the first tranche in June 2020 had 64 mines, open blocks opened up, today there is at one go 141 being offered. So I think it is a landmark development which ministries which are very, very important for the economy, such as the mining, have really taken the reform agenda forward and have gone into depths of it. I place on record my appreciation to the Minister Prahlad Joshi ji and also to the Minister Rao Sahib Patil Danveji for having taken this agenda forward with earnestness. But even as we talk about it today, for keeping the sustained interest in reform and policy-driven approach for opening up the mining sector, it is very worth our while for us to remember that being the 4th largest coal reserves in the world, India was still the 2nd largest producer in the world. You have such a wealth of coal, but you're still only producing not as much as you can. And it's not even a coal exporter. On the contrary, we seem to be spending a lot of our resources for one or the other reason, justifying imports. So that is what I think in the last 2 years, we are trying to change the course of a massive ship which requires its own steering capacities and so on. So that is now being moved around to place the emphasis on exploration and mining in the country itself. I think that is what is important to be recognized. And India, which has a large reservoir of coal, the black coal, is now ready to do the mining and be able to commercially handle it. Days are gone since after the nationalization in 71 and 72, where we went about thinking that only a public sector company can really produce for the nation, and Coal India was tasked with that performance of produce coal for the sake of moving the country's development agenda. But unfortunately what had happened was the Coal India, and I'm not blaming anybody, but the fact is that it couldn't really ramp up its capacities as much as the country's economy demanded. And gradually, as the growing nation's requirement of coal became too much, there was naturally a call for importing And we went about importing without much of attention being given for improving the coal production in the country itself. And I do recall that Prime Minister, during his address, during the launch of the first tranche, very clearly spoke about it. He said, we need to unlock the capacity. I'm actually looking for that particular line, which I thought was very evocative.